also he can use an AR and take over. So I like the roster move in terms of hardpoint.
And can we pause real quick? I know we have our monster pregame points, but do you even take these numbers with a grain of salt? Are you taking them face value? How do you look at this situation? Because for me, I'm like, forget about all of our old stats. We're 1-12 in hardpoint. We're never going to win that with the previous team, but we got a new lineup.
That's the whole point, right? Is for comparison, right? Is to see where you started with and where you're going to be at now with changing half of your roster heading into this split.
Well, LA Thieves have a lot of fans at their back today. As you can see, the party out there in Los Angeles. Shout out to everyone there at the Hunter Thieves facility. That's got to be a party, man.
Shout out John Robinson.
J-Rob, we love to see it, my guy. All right, LA Thieves, the underdogs. They're at the bottom of the leaderboard, but today you can climb and knock OpTic down a peg or at least stop their hot streak.
Where is Nate Shot?
Nisha, I think he has a child, an infant. He's probably playing ranked with them right next to him. You know, that's what I would be doing if I was an early dad. All right, let's get into the maps and modes. It's 5 games. Don't you worry about Nate. He's still got his team. Rio, Karachi Invasion, Karachi Terminal. Do we get to a Terminal Game 5?
I mean, I don't think so, but I think something to note here in this map set is like for OpTic, they're trying some things out. Like the Terminal SDM map they have been great at. They're playing that if it goes to the Game 5. And then also Karachi Hardpoint has been like an auto veto for them. So I think they're trying to test it out because they don't want to play Invasion anymore. It's been a map that hurts them versus the top teams.
I think OpTic has been waiting for this match. They've been waiting all weekend to play, and I think they're coming out with some hotness. I got this a 3-0 OpTic closing it down quick.
I want LA to show me something. I really, truly do. But as the numbers speak, I'm going to have to go with OpTic Texas for now.
Yeah, I'm going to go with OpTic Texas as well. I just think the LA Thieves aren't ready yet.
And so will the fans. We're all the same all day long. Are we right once again, or is it going to be like match number 1? Study, Shift, take it away.
Cheers, friends. Yeah, I appreciate it. I think the desk hit it perfectly. I think there are a lot of interesting elements in this map series because OpTic is trying out some newness. And I think, you know, in particular, going into a Rio, this is kind of like a map style that we would have figured this roster was like built for, right? Like you've got some real fast and furious subs. You would have to think OpTic are foaming at the mouth ready to hit this map running.
And I completely agree with you. I cannot wait for Shotzi to teach me a couple of spots that I can go forward and rank later and use eventually, you know? Because OpTic Texas, they have the perfect roster for a map like Rio. But on the opposite side, we got to put a lot of focus on LAT, man. They just had a 2-man roster change. They're 1-12 in HP, currently on a 10-game losing streak, and already starting off on the better foot as they find all the kills with early P one time, coming out swinging early.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, when you take a look at this LA Thieves roster move, it doesn't necessarily feel like it's one of those situations that you're sitting there and saying, oh, this is going to be an immediate upgrade. But I think the thing about it is the alarm bells have been ringing, and more importantly, there is no better time to reset everything because you've got a new roster, essentially, with new spawns, new maps. I mean, everything is going to feel fresh and new. So if you're Thieves, you got to come out and just say, whatever happened in stage 1 is over and done with. Let's restart the season here.
Yeah, especially if you're going 1-12 in hardpoint, you're not going to win any damn series if you're losing all your HP. So something had to change, and I really like the changes in this roster. You're adding another duo in Ghosty and Kremp. They used to play together back in the challenges, and in Nasty and Afro, those guys been around each other for quite some time. Another duo, so the comfortability is now here for LAT. As already into the P1, it was scrappy, but OpTic walk away with the majority of that time. But you can already see at P2, it's a fight for these spawns, but Pred with a big one-on-one gunfight versus Afro should try to secure that for OpTic.
Yeah, these are, again, moments where you look to a player like Pred to really just dominate, take over as one of the best SMGs in potentially the league. 4 in a row for him. And 5, and okay, just prove my point for me, Pred. Really easy stuff going through backside gate. One more player in the way, that is Kremp. And I will say, again, talking about potential hot subs, Kremp has looked nasty with the rival 9, but he gets taken down, and Ghosty finds both of his forward teammates with a team nade. So not good news here for Thieves as OpTic will soak up the scrap.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate play right there from LA. Double team nade comes in from Ghosty when they had the numbers to find the break. And now you are forced to find another break in towards bottom Eskies, but at least you have a one-on-one gunfight across the map. Dashy, unfortunately, with some bad timing there, does not spot Ghosty, but now his positioning is known to 2v4 on this side. What can Ghosty do? Can he play his life as long as he can for his teammates to get back into the play?
Really well done by Dashy. Does take care of those couple of backsided members that will lock in spawns for OpTic. Thieves looking to set themselves up, obviously, from the front. A lot of this actually going to be coming from the outside angle, and a nade from Ghosty does land. Preemptive Semtex for Pred, reads the one up close, and then he gets a second, almost finds 3. Finally cleanly finished off by the majority of the remaining OpTic players, but I mean, Pred is showing us that you put a rifle in his hand on an SMG map, he's gonna take over.
Yeah, man, like that's just what he does. He does it on every map. It doesn't matter what kind of map it is. He's always gonna put in work with that SMG. Early cruise missile already invested. 10-4 start to this game. With only 20 seconds left at this P3 HP. OpTic already a step ahead. They were able to flip those spawns. Now win the rotation over next. I thought that they were gonna be a good team at it, but they're looking picture perfect so far.
Yeah, I'll say this is kind of, I think, for a lot of OpTic fans, it looks kind of the same tempo that they would play a map like Skid Row at, right? It's just so quick to play both sides of the map, playing on the old time while also taking some good focus over towards new, and you're seeing that here. Making a mess of the old time, and now already having two members ready to go over towards Garage. Shotzzy will win ramp, and this is picture perfect for OpTic to start off this hill.
And you see the spawns from LA. It's gonna take a whole lot to try to break their way back on in, especially pushing through that Garage side. We know that trophies are gonna be down, but you have to check every single corner, and even if you're not checking the corners, the crossfires are too strong right now for OpTic Texas as they find a couple kills, but it's still a trade battle. No one currently on the point as Kenny's the sole man here, just trying to keep him off until Steam is able to reinforce, but finally LAT gaining some much needed time, but for how long though?
Yeah, just there's no trophy system down for Thieves, so all of these stuns are essentially locking LAT in place, making life very easy for the SMGs of OpTic Texas to run through, and I mean run through the setup. 110 to 28. Not the start that teams are looking for, considering that 90% of that time has been earned on the first hard point. Yeah, not good news here.
Yeah, they're looking to improve in this most specifically, and with this brand new roster, it's definitely not the way they wanted to start this HP, but they have an opportunity to potentially earn themselves back into this game. But here comes that cruise missile from Pred. Gonna be at least able to take one player down. No, actually connects on none. Looks like three Prats, but Trophy was able to block it, but those trophy systems do not block those big missiles coming in from the sky. It's still LAT holding on strong towards the bridge HP. They're finding all the right kills and forcing all of OpTic Texas to rethink strategy. Do we attack from the front, or do we try to take from top mid? It looks like a conga line right through the front entrance.
Oh, well done from Nasty and Kremp here, the two new guys in for Thieves. Getting a lot of time from the front while also trying to hit that small pinch from Nasty's point of view. So it does allow some extra time here for the Thieves to be earned. Dashy looking to contest. Good nade placement again from OpTic. Just down to, can Thieves actually clean this up? Looking like they want to play for all of this old time. Dashy making it difficult. Last player left alive. Not going to win the better of that. It's Nasty for a double. And in that moment, Thieves will also have a chance to get some numbers up as Thieves.
Already off the rotation. Shots is going to be here. He takes down the first kill on the Afro. He knows that the second player is going to be towards side door. Tries to go for the chop because he knows his teammates still have somewhat positioning towards top mid. They just don't have bridge, so Shotzzy knows the spawns are still on this side. Unfortunately, cannot find the second gunfight onto Afro. So into the contest we go in towards P1. Now it's Dashy's turn. What can he get done?
Waiting for a little bit of help. Also is waiting for a little bit of health. Ghosty, Semtex lands. Dashy, goodness, just 2 bullets. Kremp right there. That'll be enough to get him in for the contest. Thieves looking to flush them out. Well done. Good timing here. The hit is perfect to bounce out OpTic.
Okay.
4-man feed, and here we go. Nasty on 5, and Thieves looking good for the back 20.
And a new addition in Nasty starting to turn on up. 1 kill off earning that cruise missile. You're now going to force OpTic Texas to hit that early rotation, but they sniff out every single player trying to push out from that P1. Nasty does not earn that cruise missile, and now you're forcing all of LAT to hit the overextension to try to break a rotation over towards the next hill. But OpTic, they're fully ready for it. They know exactly where the pressure's coming in from at all times, and now they're fully set up for the next.
Yeah, early attempts from Thieves to get into the back and foil up the spawns. Not fully successful. Second effort looking much more promising. Kenny just kind of jumping and peeking, but Afro takes him down. Good prediction on the second as well. That'll at least take OpTic out of the hard point and also force the spawns to move around just a touch, but off spawn, OpTic well-placed nades once again locking Thieves up. They can't find the full break.
And this is like the perfect play right here if you are OpTic Texas, because there's only 30 seconds left. If you can hold them from the front, you have a free rotation over towards the next HP. Yeah. That's why you see LAT trying to find a way on in, trying to work their way through gate. And at least they find that open to kill onto Kenny. Now you're just waiting for the reinforcements, because we know the crossfires are great from OpTic Texas, but there's more bodies on the side of LA as they find 3. Nasty trying to snap on for the 4th. But finally, a break this coming into final 15. But if you are OpTic Texas, you take that. You have to set up for the next hill.
Yeah, have to make a rotation happen here. Thieves looking good for the scrap, obviously, but it's just down to what can they find. Moving over towards front lobby. Perfect time to see how the new squad is vibing with the listen it.
Yep. I'm ready, 3, 2, chop. Alright, last time, chop. Ready, 3, 2, 1. Oh, he's in the window. Sweet. Front it is. Nice. I'm in time. Back. You shot the back. Shot the back. ATM. We're gonna flip. We flip. Kill these fast boys. Ready? I'm going back for you. Double second time probably. He's blue. He's rotated. Laying down blue, guys. Laying down blue. Blue, maybe. They're gonna be close cash. They're gonna be cash. Bridge. Yeah, I'll get your bridge. I know that. One guy's already bridge. He's bridge. I'm going. One send it. One send it. You gonna pull Ryan. One shot. Shotsy's one shot. Don't play trap. I'm one shot. Contest. I'm out new. I'm Eski's spread. I'm going right. One guy's going blue pred. Alright, pred's still on ult. They're gonna be front. P2 Kenny. There's 2 P2 going in. Last 2 P2 going in. Yeah, I saw for card. 39. Pinch your side, someone. Pinch your side. Nated up. Keep it garage. Ingro's one shot. Yeah, close stuff. Combo. I'm one shot. I'm absolute. He pinched me. Yeah, he's going down. This is good. Shotsy is weak as fuck flat. They're gonna. Very shit. Gonna be close. Ramp on you. That's nice. Good trade. I need time. You can just one. You can pick time. We need time here. I need time. One shot. Nated. Yo. Flat right now. Contract. I'm up to contract. I'm looking white van. In garage in the gallery. White van dashy. I can check over there.
Well, the energy seems like it's there for LAT. Problem is, it just doesn't really feel like they're looking at the map to a deeper level. A lot of this is just one-dimensional calls, kind of playing it almost what's in front of them, not to be thinking ahead as much as you'd like to see compared to what OpTic's doing right now, Jay.
Yeah, OpTic is just a step ahead right now. They were keeping it scrappy at the end of that P3, but then you can hear it in the listening for the Thieves. Shotsy one shot. You don't find a trade on Shotsy. Now you're already losing that junk time, and you're still getting those bad spawns. The only player who spawned out was Kremp early off the rotation, but without the gaining the junk time, they have multiple players off the rotation, and they just got a full 60 at that garage hill to put them at 235. 15 seconds to let call game.
Yeah, definitely feels like OpTic is just maybe a step ahead at the moment when it comes to, again, just thinking about all elements of the hard point at once. Last attempt here for LA Thieves. First couple of kills are decent. He gets the hard point neutral for a time, but Kenny Pred still working the kills together. Just need a couple more seconds. Dashy, last one up. He's got Pred right behind him who will step on in, and Ghosty, his hand forced, will eventually be taken down as the last second gets tallied. It's a convincing win for OpTic, and I'm sure Green Wall fans are very happy to see this map in the pool based on what we just saw right there.
Everybody's happy to see Rio, man. It's just an absolute mix fest. If you were bored throughout the day, tune into some Rio HP, and I promise you, your energy is going to go through the roof. But OpTic Texas just came out swinging, man. We're talking about P1, P2, P3 chain right off the rip of the game. We also had Pred who earned the cruise missile, even though it was not impactful over towards the bridge hill. When you have such a hot start like that, all you have to do is just stay ahead. Stay a step ahead of the next team. That means winning your rotation, staying on top in the trade fights. And you can see everybody on the side of OpTic go positive. Kenny's sitting at 27 and 26, but he has the highest engagement, so he's putting down shots at 5,200 damage. We were worried about, like, if OpTic were going to be, you know, one of those teams on this map, and with the beating that they just showed, I know they're playing up against LA2, who are not the best hardpoint team, but this is a new roster. They shut down a young rookie in Kremp, who's usually a really aggressive SMG player, finds a lot of kills on the map, but they were just equalizing those guys, rotating early, playing as a team, and they dominated map number 1.
Yeah, I think it's not just the fact that everyone goes positive, but you kind of touch on it. Everyone had double-digit assists as well.
Yeah,
so it's just, you know, absolutely. And you love to, I think, see that not just for OpTic, but I think for any team that's out there when you're dealing with a fast-paced map. I mean, I think as a casting team, we've talked a lot about this map kind of feeling like Bocage in a way, dating back to Vanguard, where teams that were most successful at that map were the ones that were able to help each other out the most. It's not just being able to be individually great. You have to be able to work around your own life with your teammates, and OpTic feel like they really have that locked in for this map in particular. On the other side, just because we have to give some, you know, homage to what teams have done, I view anyone like in particular kind of standing out in terms of, you know, how they played in this respawn attempt as a first-time roster?
We saw a couple moments out of Nasty where he was popping off, went on a couple 5 streaks, and not earned a cruise missile towards the very end. We know what you're going to get out of Ghosty. We know what you're going to get out of Afro. But I feel like Nasty, he's a guy who can switch it quickly whenever he wants. You saw him go for a 5 streak. Unfortunately, he does get shut down, but he has that ability to slay with the best. Unfortunately, when you're playing from the back foot consistently, a lot of these gunfights are very difficult. You're forced to hit a couple long routes, and if those routes don't go your favor, then you're spawning all the way across the map again. And on a map like Rio, OpTic just made them pay for it. So that now puts this LA Thieves roster 0-1 in HP. The organization 0-11 in their last 11 HPs, where they're on the brink of breaking that record that NYSL set back in Vanguard. But It's a map 1, and you're going up against an OpTic roster who are usually really good at this mapping mode. So now you're going into a search and destroy, and this is another one where, as a new roster, you have to figure this stuff out quickly. And if you're OpTic Texas, the only stuff that you had to work on during this little break was search and destroy. So I'm excited to see what OpTic changes that they have made in this S&D.
Yeah, and I think Namos is the one who brought it up in the desk. He made a really good point talking about how the OpTic team has played a lot of invasion, and it has not gone well against top teams. So you have to find something else to add into the mix that isn't, Terminal, which is their second most played search and destroy map. So I like the fact that they're going to give Karachi a go here, and I'd be really curious, I think, to see has maybe Rio with how many, them running kind of a 2-2 setup in terms of ARs versus SMGs. Does that lead to maybe an idea of like, hey, wait a second, like we're starting to feel a little bit hotter with these subs. Maybe we can make some of that magic replicate here in Karachi as well, because we often see the SMGs are the ones kind of leading the charge in a lot of ways when it comes to making plays.
And as you take a look at these Karachi S&D stats for both teams, 1-1 for LAT, but when you look at all of the numbers from that squad, keep in mind, this is a whole new team. On the opposite side for OpTic Texas, 2-1, 9-4 in their attacking rounds, 8-7 on their defense. They usually tend to struggle when it comes to those retake situations. They've been a lot better as of recent, though. But in that opening duel win percentage, this is number 1 and number 2 going at it. On a map like Karachi S&D, obviously completely different for the new LA Thieves roster, but at least if you're OpTic Texas, you have that in your back pocket. We're great at finding the first bloods. We just have to make sure we're consistently converting those into W's.
And on the other side, I mean, the same thing could be said for Thieves. Great at getting opening first duels, but importantly enough, on this map, they also convert 83% of those rounds to win. So this may be a map that very well could be determined by what happens in those first bloods. And in particular, you're looking for someone who gets a lot of them. You look no further than Pred, who has been kind of the tone setter for this OpTic search and destroy when it has found success. So that's where I think we can kind of take the spotlight as we jump on in, and we'll be OpTic starting off on offense first, with Pred looking to make a little bit of noise over towards the A side of the map. The rest of the squad, though, heading over towards Market.
Yeah, Pred just going to be the island player, roaming around red, trying to find any players, trying to go for that deep pinch, and he might have just played this beautifully, because there's 2 players from LA Thieves running right underneath him. He finds the first blood. Does he read the second? No. The trade is there instantly from Afro. That gives all the information to his teammates now, though. We can get the bomb down because no one's on this bridge side.
Yeah, worse, that's a 3v2 on this side of the map. So the bomb will be planted. Shotzi just going to lurk towards backside of sandbags. Eventually able to find Nasty, make sure that every shot is perfect. Easy kill, easy elimination. Now a 3v2 post plant setup. Thieves have kind of worked their way in towards Market side, though. I mean, Afro would have to be the one to try to foil this setup. And as he does take down one, he would need to find a total 1v3. Tough to make his way back through arches. Shotzi waiting for lead shots out of Afro. Now on for the 1v3 and maybe the ace. Problem is he has absolutely no idea where Dashy is. And, well, he's the last place he looked, over towards the back of Market, and Dashy will secure the round.
I cannot believe Afro just killed Shotzi the way that he did. Picks up that AR. He's usually nice with the SMG, but MCW works in his hands as well. Makes it a 1v1, but with only 13 seconds left. Position not known from where Dashy is playing. Easy round for OpTic Texas to take the opening attack. Starts on the back of the first blood from Pred, gaining that early information. They know they have the 3v2 at that B bomb site. You get it down, you play your trades, you walk away with the round. OpTic up 1-0. Now to the defensive side. And one thing that I really love about OpTic's play on this map, specifically on defense, is that they're always super aggressive up towards B. We know how difficult it is to work towards A, but if you're shutting down this B push, you're basically shutting down the entire game.
Wow. Pred gets red with a stun, still sticks through it, finds the first elimination. Kenny thought he had timing to finish off another, but Shotzi right behind him will confirm his trade. So a very early 3v2, and here is that aggression you very aptly called. Only problem is, I don't think they fully realize how far Ghosty was, but the same could be said for Ghosty. Shotzi takes him by surprise. Top Market building, leaving Nasty down by himself in a 1v3. He'll take down Shotzi for free, but everything else a little bit more tumultuous to try to ultimately finish.
Yeah, 1v2 now. He's getting trapped. OpTic Texas is too strong on that defensive setup. You get stunned, you get naded, does not matter. I'm still going for the chow if you are Pred. Finds the first blood. Shotzi there for the trade, and Ghosty actually spots him as he jumps in towards Coop. He just took a really long time to commit towards the gunfight, and then by the time he does, he's thinking that he's going for a deep flank, not wrapping back towards the top chicken coop building. Leads to Shotzi finding the second, and then Nasty in the 1v3. Even though he finds one, just not enough time to work with if OpTic knew exactly his positioning. Now puts them up 2-0. So far, stellar in that map number 1, and then not missing a beat in this map number 2.
And I think the thing about it is how these first 2 rounds have gone. This is going to completely mess with the mindset of Thieves. You know, your opening defensive aggression gets ultimately shut down by Pred, and then the opposite happens to you on your first offense. And
you can already see it here, Alan. Look, they just already make the adjustments. 3 red B off the rip. It was Pred at the island at red. Now they stack everyone over towards B, and now it's OpTic pushing over towards A with Ghosty with his hands full.
He does at least see the first. Oh, wow, played by Ghosty. Okay. Solid read turns into 2 kills. He also escapes the trade from Pred. So now off of the regen, he's now on the hunt for more. Shotzzy does at least clear a little bit of space over towards the red side of the map, but Ghosty still waiting for sound cues. Here's the door, and we'll find Pred eventually. That's 3 kills for Ghosty in the round.
And now it's Shotzzy left in the 1v3, bomb down over towards that soda alley. Eventually he does get sniffed out, but would look to be a one-man army kind of a situation for Ghosty. He gets it done. Finds the initial 2, repositions himself knowing that Shotzzy was in towards the cafe. Finds that 3rd kill, and then Nasty with the final. So all falls into the hands of Ghosty, man. We got to take a look back at it. Great snap onto Dashy. And he stays alive long enough to find the 3rd kill onto Pred. That's just a single man shutting it down by himself.
Yeah, and there's so much trust that comes with that. I don't think the obviously assumption would be that Ghosty, as kind of one of the young IGLs, probably made that call like, hey, let's just stack B off the rip. Trust me, I got A. And, well, that trust was absolutely earned. Here we go again, though. OpTic, 3-man stack through B. No one was surprised. Pred will make his way very rapidly over towards bridge. Everyone else rotating back through the church, leaving now Kenny in a bit of a situation where he's got to kind of pull his own Ghosty up. Smoke will come through. Bomb will be planted. Kenny may have an opportunity to make this difficult on the exit, but doesn't quite sound anyone at the moment.
Yeah, Kenny's just in a situation where he can peek, potentially find a kill, but he doesn't want to peek and lose his life. Eventually takes down Nasty, and instantly in 3v2. You see both the players from LAT, they're out towards junk shot. You take down that player towards top red, we can instantly stick the defuse. That's all up to Ghosty now.
He has to move through the single window. Not gonna happen. That is too easy, I think, is probably where
too easy.
The easiest way to point to. I mean, flat out, I think that the early plant is perfect. I mean, you've got yourself a 4v4 post plant, but then you just get immediately destroyed through office. It just doesn't feel like something you'd often see.
It's just the mind games right there from OpTic. The fact that Kenny opens that cafe door, and LAT, once they break through bottom ticket, they realize there's someone on this side of the map. So let's just take control of what we already know we have. That's red. That's ticket. So we're going to back on up. We're not going to try to take cafe. But unfortunately, when they decide to back on up, that's when Kenny finds one. Shotzzy finds the timing on the Nasty. And then at that point, you have 2 players in junk, one towards top red. OpTic have everything that they want to retake the site. Beautiful play right there from Kenny to make it happen.
Quick hit right through mid for Shotzzy. Met by Thieves, though. The opening nades tossed towards B saw all 3 members make their way back towards the middle of the map, and in the same breath, Ghosty is able to find Kenny as well, kind of in the same position. So now bomb is down, Pred is forward, and it may be on Dashy to have to collect this bomb and then hope he can rotate the Thieves through Pred's awaiting arms here at Hotel.
And I love this setup right now from the Thieves. Just absolute buddy system. No one-on-one chows. If you get the information, it's going to be 2 players putting down shots. So in the 4v2, everyone's stacked in towards the fountain. They find that kill onto Pred. Now it's Dashy left in the 1v4. Bomb still down. He actually does not recover it. But a 1v4. Yeah, this is very difficult.
I agree. Okay. So now all of a sudden, the chess game kind of shifts just a touch. After the first 2 rounds were very convincingly won by OpTic, a moment here where Thieves have something up their sleeves. And I think more importantly, they kind of stop OpTic from getting away with absolute murder on the map. So maybe a moment here where we can kind of hit the brakes, hit a pause, and see if Thieves can actually get their game plan actually off the ground, because so far it really hasn't been the case.
Yeah, they just shut down the playmaker and Shotzzy. Once they take mid-map control, and especially when you're taking out one of the SMGs, you know that they're going to be a lot slower on their attacking rounds. You get the first kill and eventually find the second as well. 4v2, bomb down towards the middle of the map. You don't have to do anything. They are forced to beat you on the round by planting the bomb and successfully waiting 45 seconds, and that's very difficult to do. So LAT walk away with 2 defenses so far on the map. But now to the attacking side they go. They're going to conga line right through the middle of the map. It looks like it's going to be all-out pressure over towards A. Kenny this time with the reposition.
And I don't know if Dashy had seen any of this, but he does pop the doors over towards the old 4th hardpoint, and that will maybe alert Kenny that he is in trouble. Just the call comes maybe a touch too late. Kenny will drop. Bomb going to be planted immediately. And then look at Ghosty. He's just on the other side of the map saying, come and get me. Like, it's just killing time on the backside so we get a 3v3 post plan.
But now this is a little bit different, because now if you are the Thieves, you have cafe control. You have back alley as well. You're forcing all of OpTic Texas to retake from the opposing side. And it's already 15 seconds knocked off of the game clock. Shotzzy also does not have a smoke grenade to make it a decoy on towards the site. With only 20 seconds left, we got to get a move on it.
Yeah, haven't found anyone yet, but Nasty gets collected quickly. Thieves, is this post-plant dynamic enough? You've got Afro playing topside Soda as Kremp drops. Now they know exactly where Afro is, so Dash is going to hop this. Not again. Not another post-plant situation that should have been the perfect setup going wrong. Oh, you hate to see it.
Yeah, you definitely hate to see it, Alan, because the crazy thing is, before this roster change, LAT, more specifically on a map like Karachi, they were #1 in post-plant scenarios. But you can already tell, a lot of openings to their setups post-plants, and that is what OpTic have been able to capitalize on. You take full red control even with 20 seconds left, full out pressure, knowing that all the information is now gained. They have to be playing towards Cafe. Shotzzy starts it off with the first, Dashy with the second, and then just too far away from the site is Kremp, running right through the middle alley to even put himself in an angle to get him off site. OpTic Texas, take the round.
Wow. I mean, that was, again, maybe labeled as a little too easy for OpTic. Here we go. Full out engagement likely to happen here at B. Shotzzy moving through. He's able to catch Afro. Does he get the expectation that Kremp's up top? No, but Kenny right behind him, able to secure the trade. The read on Ghosty top hotel means that this bomb can get planted over on B. And it would be Nasty that would have to essentially 1v2 over here for the time being, waiting for Ghosty to make the long wrap around the back.
Yeah, Ghosty, he wraps his way in. Pred, I love the play out of him. He was going to commit towards the one-on-one, but he said, screw that. I'm going to help my teammates secure the ISO onto Nasty. Now, Ghosty was on a deep flank. He's now left in a 1v3 scenario. With only 25 seconds left. As long as you don't choke this one's OpTic. OpTic are not making any mistakes. It's now 2 rounds in a row to not put them at game point.
And it's just, you know, it's one of those things, again, where, you know, we're trying to sit here and evaluate the new roster that comes through here. And to be fair, like Ghosty and Kremp, they play together, but it was way back in like Vanguard. Yeah. So it's been some time since they've had a chance to play with one another. And the same can be said for like Afro and Nasty. You know, they've had a lot of experience with one another. It's just kind of getting these two old school duos to really gel together. And when you see those post plants go wrong, you see these individual moments kind of come through where essentially everyone's taking 1v2s, it feels like. You expect that those things will hopefully be corrected, but for the time being, OpTic is looking really versatile on this search and destroy.
Yeah, you can just tell that they're a brand new team. Like, those are situations that don't really happen if you have more reps underneath your belt, but a couple of openings that LAT have to focus on. This time they get that first blood. Trying to work this bomb plan over towards B. You see this the setup right now from OpTic is a little bit scattered, and Kenny tries to go through the top secret chow. He falls, instant 4v2, but Pred is here to make something happen. The bomb actually does not go down, so it's still a very winnable round for OpTic Texas.
Extremely. You have Dashy that, at least for the time being, is still playing up top towards Soda and that AC. Making his move over towards Red. Does not expect Kremp and Rubble, so now it's just down to Pred. And yep, everyone from the Thieves know exactly where he's positioned. I mean, you got to make a move at some point. Looks like they're going to try to play for the kill. Afro taken down cleanly, but the follow-up up top is just as clean as the initial was. So Thieves will keep themselves alive, but still a lot of work to be done here.
Yeah, they got the first blood that round, and then eventually sniff out the second player in towards Kenny. Then even when Pred finds that first kill, once they isolate dashing towards Red, you see it's everyone focused now onto Pred in the 3v1. We're not going to pick the bomb up. We're not going to rotate it. We're just going to ISO him and take him down with our gunny. As LAT keep themselves alive in the SD a little bit longer. Finally take their first attacking ground of the map. Now they have to be able to read what OpTic Texas are throwing them at offense. There's been so many different looks. Aggressive towards B, aggressive towards A, aggressive towards mid. Can they get a read on it in this round?
Different look on both sides, though. Kind of a 2-2 split from both sides' perspectives. Pred taking a couple of extra steps towards the bottom side at Red. Just making a little bit of extra noise, but Thieves looking pretty comfortable and confident in their setup. They're going to leave Nasty kind of by himself over towards B, but there should be an opportunity, to move over pretty quickly here. Yeah,
this is a perfect play right here from OpTic Texas. You get Pred jumping towards top Red, bust a couple doors open, get the rotation to come in from the Thieves players. But they're still not working this bomb play. Now they're going to decide to wrap back over towards Red, thinking that, all right, it's the mind games. You get them to rotate over towards A. Now you waste a lot of time, so they're probably going to go back over towards B. But here comes the commitment. A-bomb we go.
Wow, this is a bold commit. Kill's looking decent, though. Wow, how do they break through that cleanly? You think from someone playing bottom arches with someone else up at top Red that Thieves would have been fine to lock things up, but the bomb gets planted swiftly. Kenny now playing bottom office. Long wrap from Pred. Dashy still kind of holding position topside at red. And he's going to get a freebie. What? Oh, wait, what? Okay. He's looking for the beatdown. Nasty may have heard the elbow whip by his ears. Kremp also taken down, and it's just the individual skill in those last couple of moments tilted the way of OpTic as they take the 2-0 edge of the series.
Yeah, OpTic is just a step ahead in this S&D. You know, they definitely look like a team that's pinned together a lot longer than the opposing roster. But LAT, they had opportunities to win it. We're talking about multiple bomb planted over towards A. The retakes were just way too easy for OpTic Texas. The post-plant setups were not the best. But that all comes with time. And now you find yourself down 0-2 in this series. This is going to be a very difficult one to win because I know the old LAT roster on a map like Invasion Control that's coming up next, they were great. The #1 defensive team that we have throughout the entire league. They have yet to lose a single defensive round on any controls that we'd have. 10-0 more specifically on a map like Invasion. But this is a whole new team, man. And the way that OpTic are playing, they are not messing around.
And I think the thing is, again, whole new team with a very different look that it's hard to take this match and walk away with it at the moment and kind of speak to, yes, these moves were worthwhile.
Yeah.
I think maybe more so right now, I imagine the conversation point that we're gonna hear a lot on the flank, and I'm sure what the YouTube chat's talking about is, were the right people moved? It's hard to evaluate, friends. We've had two maps of action against a very good OpTic squad, but hey, at least like you mentioned, there is some statistical history that may lead to some favor here for Thieves going into map number 3, or at least so they hope. But we'll step away for a break and get you the full breakdown of as far as what's gonna happen on this control. Or will it mostly be just all sunshine and rainbows here for OpTic? Clean to this point. See if they can keep that way when we come back after the break.
Slice up your competition with the Executive Chef Operator, now available in-game in the Call of Duty store. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. Start the season strong with the Call of Duty League Pack. Grab yourself the CDL Operator, Weapon Blueprint, and so much more. Check out the Call of Duty store in-game now. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
Well, much like the Monster Energy matchup being all green, this series has also come up all green for OpTic Texas. 2-0 to this point, 251-22 the opener, followed by a very clean search on Karachi 6-3. And Jay, we kind of let everyone soak on this for a while. We talked about LA Thieves and their success, especially defensively on Invasion, but that was with a brand new roster. And you kind of worried that maybe to a certain point that, hey, we have to live up to the expectations of the previous roster here just to show some signs of life.
Yeah, that's the very difficult part about it is that, all right, you pick up 2 new players to get better at respawn, better in general at HPs. You fall short in that one, but now you're going into a control where it used to be your bread and butter with the old team, undefeated on the defensive side, but now you are forcing the other 2 players who are just on the roster to play the same exact way your last 2 teammates did, and that's usually a very difficult thing to do.
Oh, no.
As OpTic Texas already starting off hot, Dash with 2, Pred with the 3rd, Pred with the 4th, already 4 dead, players on both points, not the best start for LA.
Oh, brother. That's about all you can say right now. You've got 2 players still at mid-map, and Thieves are looking to reclaim over towards A. Couple of eliminations. Okay, first tick of progress gets completely quelled and depleted, but at the same time, Shotzi has gotten a second tick and is looking to make another forward play through DVD, able to catch Afro, at least the majority of them, and there we go. Follow-up kills are good, and this should be the B-zone for OpTic.
Yeah, B-zone's going to be done and dusted unless Krep has anything to say about it, but he's more focused on maintaining the map control for his teammates, not allowing anyone to take over that A Street control, but it's going to be time now extended by a minute. OpTic trying to push their way up through Broken Side. All of LAT, though, sitting around DVD, sitting around mid-map, and the beatdown not strong enough as Astro take down Kenny.
At least for Thieves, they can hold and restrict this transition, looking for a lot of exit kills, and they have reduced the life lead back to just 1. So there's an opportunity here where Thieves have essentially kind of mitigated the entire opening, and yeah, okay, well done here. Okay, 3 straight kills. Thieves now able to turn that into some map pressure, and Kremp, meanwhile, after his first death, has now gone 6-0, so he's got himself a cruise to work with.
This is perfect. This is perfect. He was the only man who stayed alive on this side of the map, and it comes to work out perfectly. So he earns himself that cruise whistle, but now OpTic are able to take him off that position, and they still have yet to get out of the base spell. Just beautiful crossfires, beautiful setup right now from LAT. Who are asking for if they can mimic exactly what the old team did, and so far they're doing a great job of doing so. Yeah. Already 40 seconds knocked off of that game clock, and he still have OpTic in a headlock.
Yeah, really well done from Afro and the rest of the squad to kind of playing forward, get a spawn kill, back up. It really just kind of keeps OpTic guessing in terms of what this setup looks like for Thieves. Dashy caught over towards water stairs, but he's able to at least find 1. Kenny deeper has created an opportunity for OpTic to get some sort of a setup, but Thieves will just kind of counter that by wrapping back towards mid, looking to get arrested through courtyard. So yeah, this is working out great for Thieves.
Oh, but that 2-piece nade is exactly what OpTic were looking for. If they can take care of this guy at S&D, that'll be even better. But Nasty plays his life long enough for Kremp to come in his system. So still, OpTic Texas trapped in their spawn. Farthest player pushed out is going to be Dashy. He does take down 1, but how long can he stay alive? Not for long. Only 30 seconds left, and now you're forcing all of OpTic Texas to hit that overextension.
Nasty in place deep, getting a read on some of this, but can't confirm any eliminations. And okay, here we go. All 4 OpTic members, an opportunity to kind of flood through the back. Spawns for Thieves will still be in a solid spot for them to help out on this A defense. Not a lot of time remaining, 12 seconds. Last attempt here for OpTic. Afro holding the front line quite literally, right down the middle of the street. Pred able to find 1, but doesn't have the ability to stretch over towards the A zone, so the clock will expire. And with that, so will also the hopes of OpTic trying to find their opening offense.
Yeah, you take that right there if you are LA. It didn't start off the best, but you're able to maintain it after that. Maintain map control, get a cruise missile in the back pocket of Kremp. And also not allow OpTic to get out of their base until the final 20 seconds. Just a great defensive setup. Great teamwork on full display right there from LA to take the first round. But now they're going to the attacks. Where on a map like Invasion, it's very, very difficult. We saw what it is. To get those segments done at A, you're going to be happy about it. But do they... Because they were the team that originally started that early A push. Yeah, and they trying to find success here again.
And a lot of it was get an SMG in towards lobby, which Kremp, he's got MCW, pardon me. But this is not the same breakoff where they try to work through the middle of the map. If they find the kills, then they go A. If not, they'll default back over towards B. Afro, top at Treehouse. Messy gunfight. Shotzzy takes the win. And Thieves have found no success on either zone to this point. Still trying to work for kills through the middle of the map, which Kremp does at least open up some space for now Thieves to come off spawn and head towards B.
Yeah, they're going to try to head over towards the speed point. They have broken control. They're able to stop the game clock. They also have some trophy sips to work with, but don't get that shit as freebie. As Nasty plays his life beautifully. It's already the first segment about to be complete. But you see on your mini-map, OpTic Texas, they're just waiting for an opening to try to find a way in. You also have Shotzzy going on a deep pinch, can potentially put them in a spawn trap, but the kills are not going in their favor. The second tick is already in. It looks like time is about to be extended.
Pred just watching over through dark. Kenny off spawn will make sure no one pushes through over towards blue. And like you mentioned, Shotzzy just being the gatekeeper here, making sure no one moves over towards Water Street. So in terms of how you set up a perfect spawn trap for OpTic Texas, it's on the way. I think that's the biggest part about it. So this is all about if Thieves can finally flush Shotzzy out of position, or maybe see if Afro can make a play around the back to try to pull this OpTic defense back towards the A zone.
And this is where Shotzzy just thrives, man. When you put him in a position like this where he could just be a nuisance for as long as he possibly can. He found a kill in towards top palace and he jumped on out. While the rest of LA are trying to focus on where Shotzzy is, Afro across the map is maneuvering his way up middle. You take care of Shotzzy, now you can potentially work not only through the overextension, but through mid-map, through that right street. And Afro just continuously is finding timing after timing, but does not find a kill. You take down Afro. Now all you have to do is hold strong again, but here comes Nasty.
Doesn't expect the second, and Kenny playing through Laundry. Trade good from Ghosty. Only one defender towards OpTic on the zone, and Ghosty obliterates Pred. 4 in a row now for Ghosty. Kremp able to work his way onto the A zone, stops the clock at 51 seconds. OpTic, 3 men off spawn, moving through gas. Ghosty's just missed the timing on the rotation through, though. And now it's just down to see if Kremp can hold on to the zone. He bounces out, not able to fully confirm the first tick, and as Shotzzy finds the kill, OpTic will deplete.
Yeah, that's just tough. You know, him and Ghosty were the only 2 players on that side of the map for LA. But once you take care of Ghosty, we know. Shotzzy works his way through Cafe, catches the player pushing up through A Street, watching that cross. And he take down that player to not allow the segment as well. But LAT, they're still right back on in it. You have mannequin control, you have map control, you still have one player contesting through the front. Big one-on-one gunfight is abound, but Dashy's able to take it. Now you just have to find the trade on Ghosty, but he's still staying alive. Still an opportunity for LA.
Pred does eliminate the threat, so 15 seconds. Has Thieves relying on Nasty to get here. And he's playing through street side. He's not going to have an opportunity just to run forward, you'd think. Dashy watching the cross, Pred on the interior. And as Nasty makes his move, he will step in, but into the waiting arms of Kenny and Pred, who find the kill. And pretty much a 1-for-1 defense right there. Good A setups for both teams.
Yeah, just great setups for both teams. I think it was a lot easier, though, for LAT because they were so far pushed up. They had OpTic behind in their back of the spawn towards Palace. At least for LA's sake, they were able to maneuver their way up through Cafe, get in towards Mannequin. It just came down to those next set of fights that they ended up losing that allowed OpTic to reinforce their dominance back in towards the point. So all tied up at 3 segments. Defense 1-to-1 for both of these squads. It might just simply come down to whoever can get a segment over towards A. And I feel like if you are OpTic Texas, you go for that 2-2 split again. And this time, if you get a player on the A point, let's not fully commit towards that gunfight through the back end.
Yeah, that's a phrase right there, Jay, that the COD community is not strangers to hearing. Whoever can get ticks at A typically gets that round 5 defense. Shotzzy getting aggressive through the B zone. Will work his way to top treehouse. Pred mid-map, deals with Afro, and is able to finesse to keep his life a little while longer. So first tick, make it 2. Will be locked in very quickly here for OpTic. Retake attempt through dark on the way for the Thieves. And okay, clearance does come through, so that'll stop the 3rd tick for now. Pred, last one left. Will have a chance to kind of finesse his life here, maybe actually get the extra 60. Thieves did not really push through the eliminations they had, but finally will start to make their defensive contest known. And as the kills come out from Afro, that'll be enough to deplete the 3rd tick at B.
Yeah, that's not all 4 dead as well. All of OpTic Texas forced to play nice and slow through the backside of Ice Cream as Ghosty pushes himself up towards the spawn side tank, but Pred, great shots at that MCW. Guy just simply doesn't miss. He's got the beamer on him, but it's a good first kill to now maneuver your way out of the spawn a little bit. But they're still applying pressure over towards this B side. Nades are hitting, stuns are hitting, but none of the gunfights are going their way. Nasty, it's your turn to hold down this mid tank.
18 and 14 from Nasty, quietly leading the lobby. Not quite able to get out from behind Dumpster, so he's eventually taken care of. 36 seconds on the clock. Sees OpTic taking a 3-man hit right over towards Afro's waiting arms. Stuns are landing. No trophy system in place. Ghosty also affected, so that'll be enough for the lockdown to come through, and with that, likely the extra 60 seconds unless Kremp finds some way to work through this, but no effort. It's all about setting up the A defense now for Thieves.
Yeah, once those 2 kills went in favor of OpTic, you saw Kremp. He was going to challenge through mid-dark, but he'd rather put himself in a position to make sure no one sneaks on by towards that A point, gets the information on the shot. See, now you know all of OpTic Texas are over towards that B street. Currently up by 6 lives. You still have Kremp in his back pocket with the cruise missile.
Yeah.
But OpTic Texas, they're just trying to find a different way now. Not wrap back through A street. We're going to overextend. Let's just see how long they can try to play this out.
Good kills from the Thieves. See them have a 6, make it 7 life advantage on this defensive setup. Afro making sure nothing moves through the water bridge. So all of these guns for the Thieves should know that this is either coming through mid or probably coming through the old captured B zone, and that is exactly what the Thieves are set up to deal with. Now Afro looking to get aggressive. He'll make his way to top sandbags, and this will be a problem for OpTic as he's just got everyone in front of him. Who do you want to shoot at? Pick your poison, friend. Gets 2 of the 3. Ghosty finalizes the trade, and an 18v7 with 30 seconds. This is looking really good from Thieves.
Yeah, OpTic just basically are making a decision to sit back in their spawn and chalk this one up. This is their last hoorah to try to make their way over towards this A point. The defense is just too strong right now from LA. Every single crossfire set up, but wait. That's 3 players now pushing up through the street. There's only 2 players left, but the team kill comes in from Kenny. They're able to get onto the point and stop the game clock, but there's more players from LAT on this side of the map. They just have to win the fights, and that's 3 dead to 1-on-1.
It's a Ghosty, good for it, full HP. He's now 22 and 13. Absolutely taking charge. One last attempt. Fred will get in with 2.1 on the clock, but the only help he has is Dashy, and Dashy's nowhere to be found near this. So the clearance will come through, and here's the important part about that round. Not only does OpTic barely even get the B zone, but the life differential is significant off that last round. So if Thieves don't find this A tick that we don't often see at all, they very well may have the life tie differential they need to hold that round 5 defense.
Yeah, and they're happy as hell about that. It's now 12-0 on invasion defense. Even with a new roster, they're still putting it together. Ghosty must have like the perfect game plan when it comes to defense on invasion, because no one's slipping on by. And even when you think someone is, they are reading it to perfection. And just keep in mind, this is a round where Kremp, if it comes down to it, where they need to close down this B point because they're already out slaying heavy, that cruise missile can pay dividend to make sure they secure this B point.
Absolutely huge. So here we go. B zone, the first bit of focus. First tick already locked. Again, you see that current tick counter. If they can get to 6, you would assume the life differential right now is favoring that of Thieves, which we would use as a tiebreaker to determine who gets that round 5 defense. OpTic on the reclaim of the B zone, though, looking good. I think they are very also aware of what they need to do here defensively to set themselves up. Hold on to this B zone. Don't let anything further get captured, and so far, so good for the green wall.
Yeah, they're holding strong, and they know that the pressure has to be over towards B. This is where LA are going to put a lot of their plays on this side of the map just to secure that side of that objective.
Yeah.
But it's still OpTic Texas holding down Cafe, holding down DVD. Already puts us towards big cut. LAT have not been able to find an opening as that's all 3 dead. Fall display pushed up is now Ghosty, and with only 40 seconds left, you have to go towards B. Yep. Too much time to rotate back towards A.
Then you have to hold on to this tank position. You cannot allow OpTic's ARs to get into a position like this. They can just shred you at the main street. Kenny teeing off now on 6 in a row. He's got himself a cruise missile. And oh boy, he's not done. The rest of OpTic also pushing forward. And it's just a masterclass. Thieves getting a little bit of cold feet here at B. They can't make their way through either alley. They have to play this through mid. And it's just not going any better there. Pred not able to fully double up, but it is a significant life lead. Thieves will jump on with 1.9. Kenny looking for double-digit streaks. Does he get it? Sure doesn't. Bit off more than I could chew there. And there is still a chance for Thieves to try to get this zone captured, but Dashy's nade takes them off. And what a defensive masterclass from OpTic. Mercy.
That's exactly what they needed to do to secure defense in round number 5. The absolute Kobe over the top side of blue finds a 2-piece, no trophy system in sight for LA. But you only gave up 2 segments at that B point, so OpTic Texas now secure defense in round number 5. Kenny was going off towards the B street, so now he has a cruise missile in his back pocket. And now if you are LAT, man, you got to figure it out on the attack or you're going down in 3.
Wow. I mean, just when you thought both teams were looking really good on their B offense, OpTic say, wait a second, they have the kill lead, right? All right, let's just not let them get more than 1 ticket at B. That's unreal. So here we go again. Thieves off their break off offensively, making their moves over towards B. No one's stepping on at the moment, but there are a number of members here. So just when they do, there is a chance to potentially double stack this. Kremp is moving in and out of the zone. Fred looking for the pinch through dark and clean. First gunfight win. Here come the rest of OpTic. Trades though good, and it'll be a 3-for-2 exchange, allowing progress to be secured at B.
Oh, that's a big gunfight win right there from Ghosty. Now you see they can freely go over towards this 8 point. Everyone is committing on that side, and now this is where Kremp is going to invest it. He's the only player over towards B. He's going to give all the information to his teammates on where the pressure's coming in. That's a double stack. That's 2 segments already done at B. First one about to get completed at A.
Really good call on the usage from the cruise missile. Second ticket progress, like you mentioned, nearly there. Dashy with the contest. Oh, plus Kenny assisting over the middle of the map. So yes, you do have to chalk up the B zone, but only a single tick gets confirmed on A. And look at the defensive setup for OpTic. They've got full water side control.
Yeah, they have full water side, so now you're forcing all of LA to overextend. Push through Treehouse, push through DVD, and they are ready for the fights. But how many can they get? Because there's multiple bodies here from LA. Shotzzy with the stun. You're still able to sprint. He still finds the kill. Now the only player here is going to be Ghosty. You take care of him. Hit the reset button for LA. 1:50. A lot of time to work with. But keep in mind, just in case it gets a little hairy, Kenny has that cruise missile.
Look at this setup. I mean, you've got OpTic literally possessing 90% of the map. Kenny only able to find the first, but gets a lot of damage confirmed on Afro, so he can't make any further moves over towards A. And for Thieves, again, they're just trying to feel out, where can we go? We've got no options through mid. There's people watching the OE at B. You got Dashy doing Dashy things on bridge. It just feels like an impossible situation. Without the cruise missile, this could lead to a very nasty spawn trap.
I'm curious to see what their decision is. Do we decide to overextend, push to B Street? Do we try to isolate Dashy over here towards the car side? They do just that. Find a trade on him, so you have the opening up through A Street, but how long is this going to pay dividend? Because you already see Shotzzy on a deep pinch, pushes up through the B Street, finds at least one, gets Afro one shot, not able to finish the kill as well. They're also able to pause the game clock, so Kenny's going to invest it. Big one-on-one at a point, Dashy's able to win it, but with only 57 seconds left, OpTic have exactly what they want. Full map control. All you have to do is with his next set of fights, and the game is basically yours.
Moments here, though, for Thieves. No one for OpTic. Able to contest through mid-map. Kenny has to forfeit this, just play over towards Ruggs. Lots of damage, able to find Afro. Also knows, of course, that there's a second contestant nearby. A read onto Ghosty as well, and Kenny wants the gunfight, and he's gonna take it. Oh my goodness! Also slides away. Nasty isn't able to confirm the kill until maybe it's already too late. He's trying to finesse his own life back towards gas station.
Wait a minute.
Hold on a second. Kremp from the front does a decent job. It's just a mix fest all over around the A zone. Afro able to step on in. Kremp deals with it. OpTic still holding strong, but Thieves off spawn still able to keep the game clock stopped. 7v9, and it's just down to how long Nasty can stay alive.
It's a one-on-one. It's a one-on-one. His teammates are just too far with only 12 seconds left. Crossfires are now here for OpTic Texas. They might have just been able to call game.
Unreal stuff. 6 seconds left. This is going to take too long, and Pred reads it the entire way. Oh my goodness. That got saucy around A, but OpTic win a couple of real key 1v1s to give him a slight edge, make things just a little bit too messy for Thieves. But boy, did LA give themselves a real chance there to extend this series. Just the new roster not quite enough to dig through OpTic, who are looking just as strong as they did at Boston.
Yeah, OpTic did miss a beat right there. Great in the opening hard point. Absolutely loving the Rio addition to the map set. Then you get into the Karachi S&D, just so many different looks. Every single attacking round. There's one player on one side. This time it's two players on one side. This time we're going to take middle map. There's too much for LAT to think about with a brand new roster. And then when you get to the control, even though they were down 2-1, they dominated on their defense. They did exactly what they needed to do. Secure defense in that round number 5. And then even when it got a little bit scary, Kenny gets it done with the cruise missile. Shotzzy with multiple positioning plays. But Pred, I felt like he was the MVP of that final map because every single time a player from LA got in towards that 8 point, it was a one-on-one versus Pred. He won that gunfight every single time. So that's got to be very difficult if you are LA. Just one kill away from potentially forcing a game number 4 with OpTic Texas, trying to make right their wrong.